So we're coming to the end of the mini program, and today I want to talk about a couple of things. But have you noticed, if you've actually put into practice the things that I've asked you to do, firstly, that they're simple to do, you just have to remember to do them. And secondly, have you noticed the change between you starting a few days ago and how you're feeling now? Please put your comments in the box. So what we're going to talk about today is competition. So competition comes from a primal basic driver within us. And if you think about our primal drivers, we are fundamentally driven by safety, food, community, and recreation. So competition comes in where we are running on primal programs. So we'll look at somebody else and size them up. If we talk about procreation, continuing the species. So we're going to be looking at somebody for two reasons. One, are they compatible? And are they alpha or beta? Two, are they competition to us to actually gain the alpha male or female? So we're looking at each other on a sexual plane to see if they are compatible or if they're our competition. That's a primal driver. Another one is that we are competing so that we are noticed by the alpha male or female. Again, a primal driver. The other side of it is we're looking at community. So we're going to be sizing up other people to see if they fit our community or they don't fit our community, or do we fit with theirs or don't we fit with theirs? And then also in that community there's a pecking order. So where do we sit on the pecking order? So we will rise to the top. If we can rise to the top, then we become alpha male or female, in which case we're in a position of privilege, but we have to fight to stay there. And then the other side of it is our culture. Our culture really drives in this competitiveness. I know in school, you had to come top of the class. I never did. In sports, you've got to get to the top of the league. You've got to be at your very, very best. If you look at TV programs, competitive TV programs like Britain's Got Talent or The Great British Bake Off or Glow Up, all of the people on there are at their very best before they get there. And then they're still ripped to pieces and they're pulled apart. So we are expecting people to become superhuman in this day and age. And it's not absolutely necessary for each and every individual one of us to become superhuman, unless you're specifically an athlete, unless you want to be absolutely at the top of that game that you're playing, whatever it is. So you might be the best makeup artist in the world, in which case you do have to compete. But for the straightforward, and I'm not going to use the word normal because I'd like somebody to give me a definition of what is normal. For the straightforward, everyday person who is living and existing and going up against this competition, it's not necessary. The competition you will be creating, and the one that is necessary, is for you to compete with who you were yesterday, who you were the day before. Are you bigger, better, stronger than you were the day before? You're the only person you need to compete with. And all you're competing with is to actually increase your own self-worth, your own feeling of feeling complete, and your own feeling of loving yourself. That's where your competition is. If you're looking outside, constantly comparing yourself to other people, you're always going to be better than somebody else, and you are always going to be worse than somebody else. So you are always not going to feel quite right. So the person you compete against is yourself. So make it a plan that at the end of each night, yes, another thing for your list, you're retraining your brain to make yourself feel good about yourself. And it takes a little bit of effort. It's not difficult to do, but it takes the effort. And once you get there, I promise you, you will find it's been worth all of this effort. So the next one is before you settle down at night, you think about the things that you've done well, you think about your gratitudes, and really sit down and work out how that has improved from the day before. And then if it hasn't, but it will have done, but if it hasn't, work out what it was that maybe you did in a negative fashion that has taken you back a step maybe. This is not a beating up exercise. This is a way of you really growing within yourself, having self-love, having self-pride, and actually having pride in your own abilities. Now, your abilities against somebody else's abilities are irrelevant. They're your abilities. You are the only person who lives with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for the whole of your life. So if you are proud of yourself, I don't mean arrogant, but contented and feeling complete with what you've done, and you know your idiosyncrasies and you know the things that could be tweaked and improved on and so on, then you're going to have a beautiful and very, very blessed life. So what I want to do now to wind up is talk to you about the Loving Living program. So what we've done on this little mini program are little snippets of the main program. So the Loving Living program has 6 modules and they are called the Relax. So R is to do with reconnection, so reconnecting with the body. All of the steps are very, very simple and very straightforward. So there's nothing complicated. There's no homework. I'm not going to come back and test you. It's really down to you to navigate your way through this. And it's very, very simple. I'm going to be putting up a feedback from one of the students who's done it, one of the beta testers on the course. So you can hear from her own lips how easy it's been to do. So the first module is you reconnecting with yourself. Very simple steps. Each module has a specific physical exercise to do. Again, this isn't physical exercise as in the form of increasing your heart rate, but an actual physical exercise which is easy enough to do for you to help to reconnect with yourself. And it also has an NLP meditation that reinforces what you've just done in that particular module. Then you will wait for 7 days because you're going to put into practice that homework. And again, the homework isn't very difficult. It's no more difficult than what we've done here. You're going to put that into practice so that you are really anchoring all of this into your system. And then you go on to the next module, which is and then the next module is extraction, because we're all so wrapped up in our community, our culture, our primal programming and so on. This module actually teaches you how to sort of extract yourself from it so it doesn't pull you around. You are the one that's in control of the external influences that come in that could have a negative impact on you, but you're going to be learning how those things don't have a negative impact on you, and when they do, what to do about it. So that's module 2, extraction. Module 3 is leniency. So it's you being able to lighten up on yourself, letting go of all those beliefs, all of those negative impositions that you put on yourself, so that you can actually nurture and heal and grow into a complete human being that isn't beating itself up all of the time. And And then the next one is more of letting go. And this is a little bit of a balmy unit, and it's my favourite. So it really is allowing you to let go of the restrictions that you put on yourself, the negativity that you have on yourself and your idea of how you should behave. We're letting it go, and we're actually going to be looking at it from a very, very different angle, which will make you laugh. And then the next module is assuredness. So this is you looking at any anxiety or any apprehension that you have and turning it on its head so that you become and feel very secure about yourself, your decisions, your ability to deal with any adversity that comes your way. Because this isn't a fix-all program. There is no magic wand that I could wave to make the world absolutely perfect so that adversity doesn't come your way. Oh my God, I'd earn millions upon billions upon trillions if I could wave that magic wand. But adversity will happen. So this is the module where you are absolutely sure of where you start and the world and you meet and how you interact with it and how to interact with it without it having negative impacts on you. From time to time, negativity is going to come in, but you're also going to learn how to extract from that very well. And then the very last module is X. X marks the spot. Everything you need is right here within you. So during the process of the program, you will have discovered where all of your own resources are. And if they're not actually within you, you have the confidence, the ability, the assuredness to know where to go to look for them, to ask for help if needed. Because you're not an island, you don't function totally on your own. But if you are on your own, you function perfectly well. If you're in this little community, you're absolutely fine. If you're in a different community, you're absolutely fine. So this is what we're going to be learning in this last module, that you are fine where you are. Now, you're also, in this module, going to be given a nice little first aid kit to have with you, because from time to time, you'll forget to do the work. And it's called the work. You will forget to do the work. So like you forget to push the clutch down too far in the car and you crunch your gears because you forget. So sometimes when you get to a point of forgetting, then you'll end up with not just a mind monkey, but a whacking great gorilla on your back. So this is really a first aid kit so that you can unpick what's going on right now without going into beating yourself up and telling yourself you're stupid and blah, blah, without going back to the square that you started on. So you're unpicking the first aid kit and you are re-nurturing yourself very quickly, very easily, with your own self-love that you will have built up over this program. And I promise you, at the end of this, you will feel very differently about yourself. You will feel connected to yourself. You will love yourself, and you will have the confidence in yourself to deal with adversity as it comes along. So if you're interested in signing up for the program, if you put a comment in the box here or send me an email, I will give you a discount because you've come from the group. So you either put in the comments down here, group, or send me an email stating your interest and put in the word group. And then I can send you a code for a 50% discount. Now, normally the program would be £300, but I'm going to give it to you for 50% if you put the comment in and also send me an email with the comment in. Now, I also offer 2 other programs. One is a 3-month program where you have me literally every single week on a one-to-one basis, where I am working with you using NLP and mindfulness as my role as a therapist. So you've got private sessions with me once a week. Then you do once a week group sessions, and then you run through the program. Now, this program would normally be £1,200, but again, I'm going to give you a discount for this and offer it to you for £800. So that's quite a considerable discount for a lot of my time. And then we've got an intermediate one where you do the program, and then we have group sessions once a week with me. And again, that would normally be £800, and I'm offering that to you for £600. So do put comments here, put in the program that you're interested in, let me know, and then I can send you all the details with the discount codes. I'm just going to introduce Steph, because she's one of the beta testers, bless her cotton socks. So she's actually come in here and taken all the knocks when the course was launched. It's taken a lot of time to do this. And Steph has been brilliant. She's fed back to me all the way, telling me what the glitchy bits are and so on. And I really appreciate your time and energy. So how have you found the course so far?
I've loved it. I look forward to doing it every single time. When the 7 days is gone and I get to go on to the next module, I like really look forward to it. It's like the highlight of my week. It's just amazing how much I guess like how many layers of sort of crap that we build up over ourselves, and they seem to be like running the show and we don't even realize. So the course has really helped me kind of be a neutral observer to myself and my own thoughts and kind of stories I've been telling myself and certain behaviors and patterns and things, and it's helped me kind of like take a step back and observe that like from like a neutral perspective, like no judgment, and just be a bit like more kinder and like more loving to myself. And then from that space I feel like that's when I feel like more confident and just better about everything. Like it just has a way of like just, it's like that sigh of relief, like, oh, of course. And it's sort of like there is a part of you that already knew it almost. It's, like we were saying about the inner child, and it's like once you start acknowledging these things, your inner child inside is like, yes, finally you're listening, kind of thing.
Absolutely. And has it been difficult? I'm going to move because somebody's making quite a lot of noise in the kitchen, so I'm just going to shut the door. There we go. I've forgotten my question now.
Has it been difficult, did you say?
You. It doesn't take a lot to distract me. I've only moved a chair. So yeah, how has it been difficult?
Not really. I've just found it it asks the right questions, if that makes sense. And I think because I really enjoy sort of these like self-exploration type of things anyway, I've just found it really interesting. And yeah, it's a really easy way to sort of get into like get a bit deeper. Like there's certain tasks of like activities and stuff that we do. They're just really well sort of thought out to get that part of your brain or like a deeper part of your psyche engaged, and then like it's like opening a floodgate, and then all these things come through and you're like, wow, I didn't even know I thought like that, I didn't even know that was going on. Like it's really
it's really good to hear. Now there's meditations attached to each of the modules. Have you found those helpful?
Yes, so helpful. Like I say, the difference between before the meditation and afterwards, again, it's like all that monkey chatter that you talk about is like that's just like gone silent again, and I feel so much like my heart is open, and I feel like calm and composed and like confident and able to continue with my day or whatever from like a nice sort of peaceful centeredness. But yeah, the meditations have been very, very helpful. They're really, really nice, really. That's like
lovely to hear.
Joyous feeling after.
That's really lovely to hear. So it sounds like you're getting into it, you're enjoying it, you're not finding it tough at all. And the other question, I think a lot of people are a little bit scared of doing self-exploration just in case they hit a nerve that hurts. I know what I've just
Yeah,
said by that, but we hide aspects of ourselves in dark corners because there are bits of
yeah,
ourselves that we don't really want to look at, or we think it's going to hurt. Has
yeah.
the course in any way, shape, or form touched on any of those nerves for you?
Um, Not, I'd say yes and no, because yes, it has, but in a good way and in kind of like a loving way, if that makes sense. And it's almost as if I was treating myself like I was a child or like my younger self, and it's helped me be come at it from a more compassionate place. So if there are things I'm writing about myself, like negative characteristics, or like the negative thoughts that we tell ourselves all the time, even just writing those down, it's kind of like a relief, like, oh gosh, like why do I do that? I would never even say that to like my best friend or someone I love. Like why am I like that with myself? So
Absolutely.
even if it just, yeah, even when it does touch on a nerve, it's not, it's a way of just again being that neutral observer, be like, oh, that's
Not
interesting.
re-traumatizing you.
Exactly, no, it's not. Yeah,
Yeah, because a lot of people are very scared to go into
yeah,
self-help and self-development because they really do feel that it's going to re-traumatize. Now, I'm a therapist, so I know as a therapist, quite often we are taught to get you to speak about your problems. Now, with
yeah.
NLP, it's the opposite. We don't get you to go and delve into your problems. We get you to change your mindset because the
Exactly.
problems have already happened. They've gone. They're
Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah.
So with NLP, we get you just to shift your mindset so that these flipping monkeys don't
Yeah.
sit on your shoulder and beat you up with their saucepans and wooden spoons. So
Yeah.
it's really nice to hear that it hasn't pinged you, it hasn't made you fearful about going into areas. And in fact, you quite like what you've just said. You've just said, oh, actually, I can go and visit them, but I do it in a
Yeah.
compassionate way.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not a scary thing. It's sort of just like, when we were talking about the analogy of like the ski slope, and if you're constantly going down the same ski route, then it's going to be really deeply embedded, that path. And whenever you get on that slope, you're going to fall into it, like fall into that negative pattern or that trauma or something. But with this, it's sort of like you can wipe that kind of clean, or you can just maybe look to the left and look into like the woods and go there instead, or go somewhere else. You don't have to keep revisiting that. You can go to like another, metaphorical place like a beach or
She's
somewhere,
got
like
it.
you say.
She's got
Yeah,
it. So it's doing
yeah,
what it's supposed to do. It's doing what it says on the tin. Now, I've got
yeah,
a question for you because what you're doing is a straightforward program. So that is you literally doing the work on your own. So you go into the program, you go through the work, you do your homework, you do your meditation, and then you wait 7 days once your homework's gone into place, and then you do the next module. Now,
yeah.
the next step up from that would be what I call a deluxe package, where there would be a group of people like you, so a group of students that would come together on a Zoom call like this. So you do a module,
Um,
then you come in on a Zoom call with me looking after everybody on the Zoom call so that you can
yeah,
ask questions about what's just happened. And then you end up with a meditation again or an NLP exercise at the end of that Zoom call. So that's the deluxe package. So would something like that actually be probably more beneficial to you than just doing the course?
yeah. I think so, because it'd be nice to see. It'd be nice to just interact and connect with other people and see how they've been getting on, and there's something really yeah, it's really nice to connect with people going through similar things and like do the journey together. I guess it's always nicer to know that you're not on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
could be
the
helpful.
VIP package is the same. You're on the course, but then you get one-to-one work with me. So you actually get a therapy stroke NLP session with me as a private consultation. And then you're in a group on Facebook where we do weekly Zoom meetings. So you've got
Yeah,
the course, the weekly Zoom meetings, group Zoom meetings, and you've got me on a one-to-one basis once a week. So again, would that be an addition? Would that be of help to you on top of
yeah,
what you're doing?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, because sometimes I guess there's things that you don't really not understand, but you just go a little bit deeper when you can discuss it with yourself or with other people or get other perspectives, and it's always good to have like that extra support. So yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Okay. Now, so at this point in time, you've noticed a real difference between you at the beginning and to this point in time in the course. So what do you
Yeah.
reckon has been the biggest change and the biggest, obviously, positive change for you?
I think just being able to feel or notice when like feelings of anxiety and things come up, and kind of step back and realize that's not me, like I'm not attached to that, and that's not the only path, and that's not something that's in control of me. It's kind of almost like I said before, sort of like turning around and looking at it and thinking, well, where is that sort of come from? And the sort of techniques that you use to sort of like just quieten that down, and but like from a non-judgmental and self-compassionate perspective, that's been really helpful, because I tend to overthink a lot all the time about everything, and I have this thing of always thinking that I'm doing something wrong or I should be doing more, I'm on the wrong path, and just always like really like berating myself for everything. But since doing this course, I've realized not only I'm not the only one that does that, which is nice, but also there are techniques and ways to I guess just settle yourself down and get back to the core of who you are, and what you really want and what's important to you and things. So yeah.
Yay! Fab. Steph, I'm so pleased it's worked for you. I'm so pleased that you've participated. I am so grateful for your patience. So I'm going to go say